when I pull this up, tell me what you guys think about this. Limited run games. I'm sure a lot of y'all are familiar with limited run games. Reproduce and resell older games or bring very hard to find or more independent games to consoles and give you physical editions of digital media, that kind of stuff. Digital games, blah, 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 blah. They've been recently getting licenses to redo like N64 games and like Game Boy Color games. Super dope, right? Super dope. So like here, limited run, it's fucking Worms Armageddon on the 64 with the 64 fucking cartridge, and it's pink like a worm, like the worm. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of tight. I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of tight. And so you get that, or if you, I don't know, for some reason, if you liked the Game Boy Color version, there's that too. I never played that version, but. And then they've got some like ridiculous like collector's edition for $90, which for real doesn't sound that bad. Like it looks really cool, you know. And they got the official licensing for it, right? They got the official licensing for it. So what do you guys think of companies like Limited Run getting the licensing to reproduce an older game that's a classic like that? Versus going like, say, on eBay trying to find an original copy or whatever. What do you guys think of them doing things like this? I want to know Chad's opinion. I think it's pretty dope. I mean, nothing terribly special about original versus getting these new ones. And for those with old systems, it's legit. Word. It's fine since they don't bootleg the game. Also a good point. Also do old games on new systems like Bubble Bobble and Switch. That's also true. They also bring older games that don't even have ports yet to systems. It's really beneficial for indie games. Agreed. Agreed for the indie game. Yeah. I think it's just making it physical of only digital. Yeah. Yeah. I know the outcome of this, but I'll hold till you say your piece. Okay, word. All right. All right, bet. So I happened to see a comment. And this is where I'm not going to show people's profiles or whatever. I think that is against TOS to do that. But, basically, a person commented on this saying, I love you guys, but I can't get behind the whole re-releasing games that have already had a physical release in their original format to boot. So I was like, you know what? Fair. You know what? Fair for some of the stuff, right? Let me look on eBay really quick. And let's look up the price of Worms Armageddon, right? He's claiming that, you know, well, you can see more Worms Armageddon, or you can get it online, right? Okay, fair. Here we go. If you would like only a cartridge, not a box with a manual and a bunch of stuff, just the cartridge, $259. There's one for $172. If you want to have it with the box and manual, which is what a lot of collectors or people who like retro games like me would want to have on our shelf, I would want the box with the manual. Almost $1,500. Buy it now. So here's the thing. So clearly, this is not a game you can easily get. We've established that. So I actually quite like it because some of these N64 games are hard to find, either price-wise or condition-wise. And I'd rather buy a nice product like this than some ripped mod on Etsy. Basically, it's like, yeah, if I go to eBay, if I try to find the original version of that, I've either got to scrounge through like garage sales, flea markets, basically only those two places to find someone who doesn't understand that Worms Armageddon on the 64 goes for hundreds of dollars online. So, like, you know, so then, you know, I'm like, nah, you can't get this. So for games like this, that in the States, the prices have gone sky high. I'm fine with spending. That was $80, bro. Look, even if I'm the game itself with just the box or whatever, I could still spend less. I could still spend $90 and get all this bonus bullshit. A jewel cased soundtrack, the box with the game and the manual and this other cool big box. And it's officially licensed. So the company who has the license, who owns the rights to Worms Armageddon, are getting paid for it. The don't effing buy was towards the person who doesn't like the re-releases. I mean, right, to be right, and that's not, and like that would have been fine. And then another person said, yeah, I don't get it either, especially when they do it with games that are cheaper than they are selling the re-release for. He says cheaper than they're selling the re-release for. So I screenshotted eBay, buy it now on eBay, and I showed him how much the prices were. And he goes, don't act like the US is the only country in the world. I'm going to show you the picture he sent me. I'm not showing his profile. I am showing you the picture he sent me. So he's telling me that it's cheaper in other countries where it's in a language that you don't speak. Fucker. Like, look at this. This is what this motherfucker sends me, bro. Look, it's like in German, bro. And yeah, they're fucking cheap there, right? But how much does shipping cost? How much does shipping cost? On top of that, I now need an N64 that's either made in PAL or I have to buy a converter to then play this. And it's not even gonna be in English, bro. This is my journey. This is my journey today, right? I was like, yeah, and then needing an N64 to run these, like, sure, I could go through all this trouble and ship it from another country, but if I'm a collector, I collect stuff from my country, I could get a ton of N64 cheap from Japan. Don't want to, but I shouldn't have to either. German, is like 55 bucks. But it's not a language you fucking speak. Right, that's the thing. It's all in German. A lot of times, like the ones that go to Germany, I'm pretty sure are like in German. Like, that was back then when they didn't do like, oh, multiple languages on carts. That wasn't really a thing. It was either in English or it was in the fucking country's language that you speak. You know, it's still too high. I agree. 55 bucks, but you know what? Here's my thing. $20 to $50 I will allow for really hard to find games, right? I think that's okay for really hard to find games. Or the popular ones, Zelda, Mario, blah, 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 Pokemon. I don't feel like they should ever exceed 50 though. I feel like they should never really exceed 100 unless they're like in-box, mint condition, and or new sealed. That's just me. But regardless of that, because I can't complain because I have a bunch of Persona shit sealed that I'm waiting that if I, well, hopefully I won't ever have to, but if one day if I have to sell some things to make some money, I've got a nice little stash of Persona collectibles, you know what I'm saying, that are dupes. So, you know, so another person commented saying, any particular reason it gives people an opportunity to buy one. So it's kind of more on the side of like, hey, people who can't afford one can now buy one. This guy says, I don't know, as a collector, it irks me the wrong way. It pollutes and dilutes the game population, messes with the tools I use, price charting namely, and not against virtue. I appreciate gamers being able to play them again, but I just can't get behind it. So that guy replies with, at the end of the day though, games are about playing. I vehemently oppose the idea that less people should have the opportunity to play a game simply because collectors are concerned about value, in quotation marks. Anything that pushes prices down and makes games more accessible is a good thing. Props to that man right there. Props to that man right there. So then that's when I commented after that. I was like, I agree. I mean, hell, if I wanted a complete in-box version of this game, original, I have to shell out damn near $3K. There was one, because one of the top ones, buy it now, complete in-box with everything with it, almost $3K. Sorry, not sorry, but a lot of the collectors are why limited run games exist. And then this dude, this other motherfucker goes, LOL, what? How the hell is it worth that much? It's maybe 30 bucks where I'm from. And then somebody else replied with price charting, showing that a complete inbox is $701 and a loose card is $223. So even with price charting, finding the lowest complete inbox, buy it now, it was $701.86. That guy never replied back to that one. And then the other guy that was in the other thread commented on that too, saying the thing that bothers me most, I guess, is that the re-releases are not really official. Yeah, they've got the original developers and publishers involved, but they don't have the seal of approval from the console manufacturers and are made with aftermarket parts. Bro! What? Are you dying on this hill, bro? Like, are we going here? Are we going here? So, I don't care that the original developers of the game and the original creators and publishers are okay with having their game survive in some form of a medium. It's, you know why it's really bad? Because it doesn't have the seal of approval from Nintendo. So therefore, it's not an officially licensed Nintendo product. So therefore, it's shite, and you shouldn't support this. What? What? That's literally what this man said! Fuck you, they are official. Right, the N64 has been out of service for almost 20 years, you fucking dunce. Oh no, the major companies can't make a cut on them. The original studio and the people who worked on them get money. What a fucking jerk off, right? Question marks. I agree, Cat. Question marks. Like, oh, but this story gets really good. It's got a good ending, so hang in there with me, okay? It's got a great ending to it, okay? So after he says that, this guy says, same. I never bought reproduction games years ago for this reason, as they are not official releases, basically just high quality copies or fakes. Yet when Limited Run suddenly does it, some people don't seem to be able to get enough. Not sure why. I said, because it's from a trusted and respected company. Not some random online. It's worth it. I'd rather pay money to get a quality repro worthy enough for the shelf. The dude who runs Limited Run Games, one of the guys that runs Limited Run Games, swoops in for the fucking win. Comments on my post saying, we've also licensed the software. It's entirely legal, whereas the fakes on Etsy and AliExpress are illegal bootlegs that Team 17 earns nothing on. Get fucking bitch slapped. Are you serious? This motherfucker came in and said, listen, bitch, it's not what you're saying. You're just spewing a bunch of bullshit. And then he goes and comments on the main thread. The guy, one of the guys that runs Limited Run, he commented on the main thread to the guy that said, I'll just get a flash card. I'll just flash card it and use an emulator and use a ROM. Which, you know, technically is illegal, right? Using a ROM, using a flash card. And the guy from Limited Run said, a flash card doesn't give the original software developers any money. We've actually licensed the software with Team 17 and they're earning money on these instead of getting nothing from flashcards and bootlegs. Then he comments again and says, PAL copies also run in 50 Hz, which isn't ideal these days. Most prefer 60 Hz. NTSC and NTSC Worms cards are expensive as hell. Mic drop, motherfucker. False experts on Twitter, Reddit, dude, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And like, you know, some people get all spiced up over drama between like YouTubers. Some people get their kicks off of politics. I get my kicks off of the fucking retro gaming thread, bro. That's where I get my fucking kicks off. And then the guy replies back after saying that this stuff was akin to repros. I understand that, but when it comes to collecting for a console or playing retro games, this is the worst of both worlds for me. If they decide to port the games to another console, I'm happy to pay for that. But these re-releases of games that already exist don't do anything. It's so beneficial to have a service like Limited Run Games. I agree, because it's like even with the highest price collector's edition of that Worms Armageddon, it's still cheaper than buying a PAL cart that's in another language to play on a fucking modded N64 or a PAL N64. Come on, man. Indie devs get more cash. Yeah, and that's another great thing. Like, I'm so glad that Haven got put on Limited Run. I ordered the big dick edition. I ordered the fucking awesome one. So that was my story for today. That was my Twitter drama of the day. Because I saw that motherfucker posting it, and I you know what? I hadn't had my energy drink yet. So he was fucked. I was like, you know what? I feel like an argument. Let's do this. I'm gonna tell you why you's wrong.